majority of people never reach their full potential. Not because they aren't capable, but because they never push themselves past their limits. And that's exactly what we're talking about today with Megumi Fushiguro from Jujutsu Kaisen. See, Megumi was hyped up to us as a prodigy. I mean, he had the raw talent, the skills, the lineage, everything he needed to be one of the greatest. But for most of the series, he never really lived up to that potential. And it wasn't because he wasn't capable, but because he just didn't believe in himself enough. And if we're being honest, that's exactly what happens to a lot of us. I mean, you know you're capable of doing more. You know that you have this potential, but something keeps holding you back. And that something is what I call esteem in the hero framework. It's the way you see yourself and what you think you're capable of. And that's why by the end of this video, you'll understand why you feel stuck, why you're not moving forward, and why you're stronger than you think. Most people don't stop progressing because they lack ability. They don't progress because they stop pushing themselves once they reach a certain level. I mean, we hit a good enough stage in our lives and we just kind of stop trying altogether. It's not because we don't want to grow, it's just we don't really see the need to anymore. Now, for Megumi, he had insane potential, but he never truly tried to surpass his limits. Why? Because he always had Maharaga as a safety net. He never had to push himself to get stronger because he knew he could always just fall back on this trump card, Big Raga. And Gojo even stated that Megumi doesn't really know how to bring out his best because he's only using undervalued data on himself and others. So he can't really imagine a stronger version of himself. And to be honest, I'm no different. I know I could be doing more with my channel, with my brand as a whole, but to be honest, I'm comfortable in the job that I'm currently in. I mean, it pays well, it has good benefits, and it's more stable than trying to be a solopreneur at this point in time, right? But I know if I don't go harder at this YouTube thing, if I don't go harder at the brand I'm trying to build up, then the Liberated Otaku can never be all that I know that it can be. And that's why I had to learn the important thing of getting outside of my comfort zone so I can live up to this potential that I know that I have. And as for Megumi, the moment he stopped relying on Maharaga as his safety net, he unlocked something completely new, a strength that he didn't know he had. And of course, I'm talking about his domain expansion, Chimera Shadow Garden, something that impressed even the King of Curses himself. And so the real lesson in all this is that your potential isn't something that you have to go out and find. It's something that you can create, but that only happens when you step outside of your comfort zone and into action. Now, speaking of action, most people believe they need confidence before they can do something. But the truth is, confidence actually comes from action. We assume we need to, feel ready before we even start something. But waiting for readiness, waiting for the perfect moment, it's just going to keep us stuck in the exact same place. See, when I first started YouTube, it took me forever to get my first video out because I hated being on camera. I hated the sound of my own voice, and I couldn't even look at the camera lens properly. And I thought I just needed to be perfect before I even started. But of course, I had it backwards. And honestly, Megumi's breakthrough wasn't exactly perfect either, because when he first used his domain expansion, he even admitted this.
It's incomplete, and it's ugly work at best. But for now, that's fine.
And that's the key. You don't wait until you're great to start. You start and then you become great. You're going to figure it out along the way. So every step you take now is going to build the person that you want to become. So you don't have to be perfect. You just have to be willing to move. And always remember that action breeds confidence. It is not the other way around. Now, sometimes we assume our efforts don't really matter because we can't see the immediate results. But the truth is, growth happens in the background. And just because you don't see instant progress doesn't mean that you're not improving at all. I mean, after Megumi unlocked his domain expansion, he continued to grow bit by bit. And till it was stopped, and we won't talk about that in this video. But while he was always a very tactical and adaptive fighter, Megumi's battle IQ grew even more after dropping his fixation on summoning Big Raga in every single fight. And I think honestly this was best shown in his battle against Reggie during the Culling games, where he was able to trap him inside of his domain and use his 10 shadow techniques in a way that he really hasn't done before. I mean, where else has he dropped a 2-ton elephant on top of somebody, right? And honestly, the same can be said with us. Our efforts are working, even if we just can't see it yet. And that every small action today is going to compound into the person, into the goal, into the dream that you have. I mean, for me, I almost quit YouTube multiple times because, well, some videos barely get 100 views after, 3-4 months at a time. But over time, I'm learning more and more about video creation and just being a content creator, and each video is just getting better. At least I think so. If not, please let me know in the comments below, and I don't know, I'll try something different. But the key thing here I want you to understand is that people who succeed aren't the ones who never doubted themselves in the first place. They're the ones who just decided to keep going anyway. And I want you to understand that you're capable of more than you believe, and your future self is counting on you to keep going. Now, Megumi's story in Jujutsu Kaisen is unfortunately one of wasted potential, but your story doesn't have to be. You control your growth, and every action you take today is a decision on the type of person that you want to be tomorrow. So now it's up to you. Are you going to stay complacent, just like Megumi, or will you step up and take control of your own story? Let me know in the comments below. And when you're done, go ahead and watch this next video on why understanding yourself is the first step towards success.